The central pressure, the main energy part of this storm is just explosive. In fact, this will be probably the worst winter storm on record in this country. We're talking right now tornadoes breaking out in Florida. We have Thundersnow in Birmingham, and once it moves up the Atlantic coast, hurricane conditions up that way, hurricane-like conditions. And here in Birmingham, the big problem tonight, the loss of power, trees going down, and of course the travel conditions. We'll discuss all of this as we go along. A very serious storm. Right now in Birmingham, heavy snow falling here at Channel 6. We currently have 31. The temperature has been holding steady for the past 4 hours. The humidity 100%. Check out the wind. The wind is increasing now here at Channel 6, averaging 18, gusting at times to 30. Our wind chill index right now is 4 degrees. Temperatures continue to hover right around the freezing mark, and as the heavy snow falls, even if your city here is above freezing, that snow is going to accumulate, of course. The Birmingham airport now showing 33, 34 in Tuscaloosa, 34 in Anniston, moderate snow down in Bibb County. They currently have 32. Now here's the latest on the watch and warning situation. Still the heavy snow warning for the northern half of the state. That includes Birmingham. A snow advisory here in green all the way down to Mobile, where 1 to 2 inches of snow are likely. Here's our latest snow projection with the system. Now, by early in the morning when this ends, now we're forecasting 8 to 12 inches of snow, at least in Birmingham. Some of the ridge tops, you're going to see more than 1 foot with this storm. You can see 2 to 8 inches around that, and then 1 to 2 inches well down into South Alabama. With the wind increasing late tonight, we're going to see drifting snow and blowing snow, and as we've talked about all night, just blizzard conditions. More trees will come down, the electricity will go out in more areas. And don't forget, by the way, if your power goes out, you can hear us on your FM radio, a battery radio, on 87.7. And we'll do our best throughout the early morning hours to give you information in a spoken way as opposed to the videos that many of you cannot watch. Here's the storm. Very impressive coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. We now have tornadoes near Tallahassee. Much of Florida is under a tornado watch, and we're going to be right on the heavy snow band on the north side of this big storm, and that's a classic configuration for heavy snow. In fact, this by far will be the greatest March snowstorm on record here in Birmingham. Now, what's going to happen? Tomorrow morning, this major storm, superstorm, will move out of the Gulf, moving right up the Atlantic coast. The snow will taper off here. Blizzard conditions, hurricane-force winds for the East Coast. This will be very destructive and very life-threatening for the major cities in the eastern states, one that will be talked about for years to come. Windy periods of heavy snow after midnight near blizzard conditions. The wind out of the north at 25 to 45 miles per hour. Our low tonight near 27. Tomorrow, the snow will end early in the day, but all day windy and very cold with sub-zero wind chills. The high tomorrow at 32. Wind chill values as cold as 20 below zero. And our 5-day planning forecast, 11 degrees Sunday morning, 19 degrees Monday morning, with a gradual warm-up by the first part of next week. Again, we want everybody to know we're going to be here throughout the night. We'll have frequent updates on the situation. For those of you in the dark listening to us on your radio right now, we'll let you know just as soon as we know something about when your power might be on. And don't forget our special news broadcast.
Alabama Power says 2,500 people are already without power in Jefferson and Shelby counties. Crews are working around the clock to restore service. So far, Graysville, Gardendale, and Huffman are the hardest hit. Now remember, you can listen to Channel 6 as we continue our storm coverage on 87.7 on the FM dial on a portable radio if you lose your power.
Well, down on the books. I mean, this is an incredible storm. Let's show you the system moving inland from the Gulf. Again, the worst of this here will occur from midnight until 6 with blizzard conditions. Many locations, Scott and Brenda, with over 1 foot in the Birmingham area. Power outages are widespread. Trees are down all over the place. We'll have continuous information throughout the late night and early morning hours. So please stay with us, Scott.
Thank you, James.
Good evening, everybody. I'm James Spann with the live update on this major winter storm. We'll take a few moments and talk about what's going on. The immediate concern, many of you right now with no electricity. Perhaps you're listening to us on your radio at 87.7. At this point, we cannot tell you when your power will be turned back on. The power company working as hard as they can to restore electricity. Thousands of customers right now with no service because of this heavy, wet snow falling on trees and power lines. Winds are increasing, and as this major storm moves inland, we're talking blizzard conditions in Birmingham. In fact, we're approaching that right now. thunder snowstorms all across the area. In fact, just about 2 minutes ago, we had just a huge lightning hit nearby with a large clap of thunder, something you'd expect on a summer day. That shows you how incredible this storm is. This will be probably the strongest winter storm on record in this country as it moves up the Atlantic coast. Kevin Collins now is out in the weather. Kevin, tell us a bit about what's going on out there and maybe some advice for people that have no electricity right now.
All right, James, thanks very much. This is a rapidly deteriorating situation. If you are without power right now, we'll get in just a second some of the things that you can do to keep yourself warm and also keep yourself informed during the evening. But as I mentioned, the situation is getting worse. Snow is coming down harder by the minute. James mentioned about 2 minutes ago, if you're anywhere in the Birmingham area or either side of Red Mountain, you probably heard the thunder. Just as I was coming out here, I saw the lightning flash and then listened to the thunder echo down Red Mountain to the west for a good 10 to 15 seconds, indicating probably one of the largest bolts of lightning, certainly that I have ever seen. Now, that lightning is going to cause more electrical problems as we see power lines going down, as we see transformers blowing up.
Okay, Kevin, thank you very much. We are currently updating our list of shelters that are being open for those of you with no electricity. If you feel the need to go to a shelter, just hang on with us for a few more moments. We'll give you an updated list. And Kevin, as you watch Kevin, you saw the extreme winds up here. We just checked our anemometer. We've had a wind gust now to 37 miles per hour in the past couple of minutes. Wind chills are below zero. We are approaching blizzard conditions right now. So again, please leave your television on, your radio on 87.7. We're going to be on often. In fact, soon we're going to go back to continuous coverage on this winter storm that will be talked about for years and years to come. So what is turning out to be the greatest winter storm on record in this country is raging right now across the South. The National Meteorological Center in Washington is calling this an unprecedented, life-threatening storm. Quite frankly, I've never seen anything like this in terms of the central barometric pressure, the strength, and all of the things we're having right now. Just some examples of the oddities. Right now in Mobile, it is snowing heavily. In fact, they have a thunder snowstorm. We have thunder snowstorms in the Birmingham area because of the thick, wet snow and the high wind. We have numerous reports of trees down. Thousands of people are currently without electricity. At last report, at least 20,000. And obviously, this will take a long time for the power company to work on. We cannot tell you when the power will be restored. Now, this is the center of the big storm located right here, just south of the Alabama Gulf Coast. We are in the sector where heavy snow is very favorable. It continues to fall. In fact, we have Kevin Collins of our staff who is out in the snow. And Kevin, it looks as though we are now approaching those blizzard conditions we've been talking about all night.
We sure are, James. In fact, when you say in the snow, you're almost right. I'm almost in the snow up to my knees and being blown over. As you can tell by the wind gust up here on Red Mountain, the wind is gusting to over 40 miles per hour. We've got anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow on the ground now across the Birmingham area. Now, with the wind blowing, that's going to create some interesting problems. Snow drifting. And, Jeff, if you can pan down and show you what's going on here right at the back door of Channel 6. We've had the garage door, the back door, closed for a better part of the evening, and then you can see the snow drifting up against that door, and that's going to cause, that's about a foot right there now, anywhere from 1 feet to 2 feet to even 3 feet in some spots near houses, near walls, any kind of thing that acts as a barrier to the wind. You're going to get some snow drifting, and that's going to cause even more problems. Let me talk a little bit about some flashes that you may be seeing in the sky. A number of reports of lights in the sky. That could be one of two things. Number one, it could be lightning. If it's a white flash, it probably is lightning. Something called thunder snow, something we're not used to here in the South. And in fact, across most of the country, it's a fairly rare event, indicating a very, very strong dynamic system. It's just like a summertime thunderstorm, but with snow falling. So a white flash in the sky does mean that you're seeing lightning outside. That's going to cause some power problems. As many as 20,000 people in the area without power now. That number will certainly go up through the evening. Another flash you might see, if it has sort of a bluish-green flash in the sky, that is likely a transformer blowing out somewhere in the area, and that just lends more problems to the power problems around the area.
Okay, Kevin, certainly this is a site that's almost like a fantasy land for Birmingham. Winds have gusted here to 41 miles per hour. We're checking the anemometer. We'll see if we had a higher gust. But when winds reach that 40-mile-per-hour limit, that's typically when you consider this kind of situation a blizzard. Now, this bulletin just in from our newsroom, Governor Guy Hunt has now proclaimed a state of emergency in Alabama because of this severe winter storm that is crossing the state. Hunt has also asked Alabama Emergency Management Agency Director Philip Hicks and his staff to coordinate state assistance upon request from local government. Moves up the East Coast. This will be the storm of the century, perhaps.